Hi guys, this is Elliot with Flat5 Music Studios, and today we're going to go over some of my favorite parts from Separate Ways by Journey. So let's get started. Alright guys, so the very first part I'm going to go over are the verses of the song. There's two different variations of the verse. The very first part starts off with 4 hits on the kick drum, so just 1, 2, 3, 4. And then on the 4, you're going to come down on the toms. So all together, it'll sound something like this. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So that repeats throughout the entire first verse and doesn't really ever change until you get, of course, to the next section of the song. Now, in the second verse, we do something extremely similar to it, but we bring in the snare drum on the 2 of the measures. So it would sound practically the same, the 4 kicks on the kick drum, but instead it'll go like this. 1, 2, 3. So if you notice, I'm still playing the same pattern with the 1, 2, 3, and 4 on the toms, but on the 2 I'm just adding the snare. So again, it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3. So those are the 2 variations of the 2 different verses that occur in the song. I'm going to play them up to speed for you guys so you can kind of hear what the 2 versions should sound like. First I'll do verse 1, then after I'll stop and do verse 2. And now for verse 2. Alright, so the next part we're going to go over is the pre-chorus. It's a pretty simple beat. It goes like this. So I'll play that beat one more time at full speed. It goes like this. So that beat repeats over and over again during the pre-chorus with a couple of variation and simple hits, but as long as you know that main fundamental beat and play it throughout the pre-chorus, it goes with the song. Alright, next thing I'm going to go ahead and do for you guys is I'm going to play it in a loop at a slow tempo for you guys so that y'all can really analyze what I'm doing, and if you like to, you can even practice along with what I'm doing, just that way y'all can get the hang of what the drum beat is, what you should be hitting at what times, things like that. So it's going to go like this. So with plenty of practice, you'll be able to do this up to speed perfectly. I'm going to play it one more time for you, up to speed, so you can hear what it should sound like after you're done rehearsing this a couple of times. So the next part I'm going to show you guys is the chorus, the most important part of the song, but probably the easiest part of the song. So this is a very basic drum beat that every beginner should know. So it goes like this. So one of the first things I want you to take note of is that instead of using the hi-hat, I come over and use the ride cymbal. This is an important part of the song, something that you should definitely make sure you do because it does add that contrast from the pre-chorus to the chorus. So instead of playing it like you normally would on the hi-hat, you're going to play it on the ride cymbal, again, just to add that contrast between the pre-chorus and the chorus. Now, up to speed, this is what it should sound like. again, very simple, something that is not too complicated, nice, simple. Just practice it over and over again, you should definitely get it. So the next sections I want to go over in the song are some of the key drum fills that happen throughout the song. One of them happens in the middle of verse 2. If you recall from before, the verse 2 section just goes. Just before the vocals come in, a short drum fill occurs. It's pretty simple, but what makes it complicated is the speed it's done at. So the drum fill starts off on the snare drum and goes. So the drum fill starts off the snare drum on the end of 3 and is a triplet. So essentially when you count it, you would go. So the drum fill's a little awkwardly placed since it's on the end of 3. What I would recommend doing is just starting off playing it really slow with the drum beat intact at the beginning. So just doing. I would recommend doing this over and over again at a slow tempo just to get it going really well, to get familiar with the pattern. And then from there, slowly speed it up. And then try it along with the song up to tempo. So I'm gonna play it a couple times for you guys at different speeds and at different tempos so you can kind of see what the fill should sound like in the context of the song. So this is first slow. Now a little bit faster. Now up to speed. So again, with plenty of practice and just taking it very slowly at first and really getting the hang of the pattern and the awkward timing of the fill, you'll definitely be able to play this fill like if it's nothing to you guys. All right, so the final part I want to go over is probably the most difficult part just because it is an extremely fast fill. In reality, there's not a lot to it. It can be very simple and it just takes a lot of practice to get the speed aspect of it down. So first thing I'll start off teaching you guys is the bass drum pattern that you have to do during the fill. The fill is essentially 3 60 notes with a quarter note on the 4. So the count is 1E and a 2E and a 3E and a 4. And then from there it goes into the chorus. So this fill sits just between the second pre-chorus and the second chorus. Let me show you what your feet will be doing with the bass drum. So it goes like this. So then once you get that part of it down, I would recommend maybe trying that with a metronome. Try making sure that you can play that really smoothly in time, just the 1E and a 2E and a 3E and really make sure that both feet sound the same. Make sure that you can play it while doing the hand pattern that I'm about to show you. And the hand pattern, again, is very simple. It's just 3 16 notes and then a quarter note at the end on the snare drum. So sounds and looks something like this. So starts off on the snare drum on the 1. So you're going to do the high tom on the E. On the and, you're going to come down to your floor tom. And on the you're going to come back to your high tom. So then doing it all together with the bass drum, it'll look something like this. It takes a lot of practice to get it up to speed, but it's a fairly simple, straightforward part. So again, just practice it very carefully. Make sure each hit on your hands lines up with each hit on the kick drum. So I'm gonna play it a couple more times for you guys at a slow tempo, a medium tempo, and then up to tempo. So this is slow, guys. All right, now a little bit faster. So now up to speed, guys. So again, that's a very easy fill. Really simple, just straight 16 notes, but it takes a lot of practice to get it up to that tempo. So I just recommend taking it really nice and slow, getting used to the hand and foot pattern, getting used to playing the notes together on each beat, and then from there just slowly speed it up so you can get up to tempo. Alright guys, that pretty much wraps it up for this song. There are several other parts that repeat throughout the song, like for instance the solo section will essentially do the pre-chorus beat, but instead of playing it over on the hi-hat like I showed you guys previously, it moves it over to the ride cymbal when you start playing the beat on the ride cymbal instead of off the hi-hat cymbal. Again, just to add that contrast that I was talking about, like what happens between the pre-chorus and the chorus. So that's even something that you can use in your own music and own playing style, is moving from using the hi-hat to your ride, or even to maybe one of the crash cymbals, to add a sense of contrast within your music so that your playing doesn't get so stagnant and boring throughout the song. There actually is a feel of change when really you're not changing anything. You're just moving to a different cymbal. Again, you can do this with the hi-hat, with one of your crashes, with the ride cymbal, or maybe if you happen to have like a china or something else that you would like to play the beat on, you can definitely do that. That's it for today's lesson. Make sure to like and share this video. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel and leave a comment below if you have any song suggestions for the future. If you're interested in music lessons, visit us in Laredo, Texas at 8602 McPherson, Suite 111. Thanks.